Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling something that I think everyone feels, the modern attention crisis. You know that feeling of being pulled in a million directions at once? Well, what if I told you there's a way to fight back? A skill you can actually learn to reclaim your focus and, honestly, do the best work of your life. Let's dive.
All right, let's start with a number, and I have a feeling this is going to hit a little too close to home. 11 minutes. According to researchers at UC Irvine, that's it. That's the average amount of time someone like you or me, a knowledge worker, actually gets to focus on one thing before, ding, an email, a chat message, someone tapping you on the shoulder. Just 11 minutes.
But here's the kicker. The real damage isn't the interruption itself. It's how long it takes to get back on track. We're talking over 20 minutes to regain that same level of deep concentration you had before. Now think about that. If this happens just a few times an hour, you're not losing minutes, you're losing hours of productive time every single day. It's a massive hidden drain on our potential.
And let's be honest with ourselves, right? A lot of the time, we're the culprits. The data shows we're checking our email or chat apps roughly every 6 minutes. It feels like we're being productive, staying on top of things, but what we're really doing is creating a neurological traffic jam. Yeah, that feeling of being mentally scattered, like your brain is in two places at once, it actually has a name, attention residue. It's a real thing. As Sophie Leroy's research showed, when you jump from one task to another, a piece of your brain is still chewing on that last thing. You're never fully present, never giving 100% of your cognitive horsepower to what's in front of you. So, okay, it's a mess. How do we fix this? What's the antidote to this constant state of distraction? Well, that's where this really powerful concept comes in, from author and computer science professor Cal Newport. He calls it deep work. So Newport breaks it down really simply. He says our work life is basically split into two buckets. On one side, you've got deep work. This is the good stuff, right? The focused, high-value thinking that solves hard problems and creates something new. It's the work that's hard to replicate. And on the other side, shallow work. Think answering emails, scheduling meetings, all the logistical stuff that keeps the lights on, but doesn't really push the needle forward. And this is the crucial part. In today's economy, which is just drowning in noise and distraction, the ability to do deep work consistently, it's not just a nice little skill anymore. Newport argues it's becoming a genuine superpower. It's what will make people thrive while everyone else is just trying to keep up. I love this because Newport gives us the super simple but profound formula for productivity. High-quality work isn't just about the hours you clock in. It's the time spent multiplied by your intensity of focus. Think about it. 1 hour of pure, uninterrupted, deep focus can produce more value than 3 or 4 hours of fragmented, distracted, shallow work. It's a total game changer. You know, in a lot of office jobs, it's actually really hard to see who's being truly productive. So what do? We fall back on what Newport calls busyness as a proxy for productivity. We answer emails at lightning speed, we're always online on Slack, we do a lot of visible stuff because it looks like we're working hard, but looking busy and being effective are two totally different things. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we build this deep work muscle? Well, the very first step isn't about apps or gadgets. It's about retraining our own brains to fight back against that constant pull of distraction. So let's look at a few of Newport's strategies, and they're a bit counterintuitive. First up, embrace boredom. Yeah, seriously. The next time you're waiting in line, don't just whip out your phone. Let your mind wander. It's like doing push-ups for your attention muscles. Another one is productive meditation. While you're walking or showering, focus your mind on one single well-defined professional problem. And my favorite one, schedule your distractions. Flip the script. Instead of taking breaks from your work, you take scheduled breaks from focus to check social media or whatever. You're in control. Here's another really powerful habit, the shutdown ritual. At the end of your workday, you go through your to-do list, make sure every open loop has a plan, and then, and this is the important part, you actually say out loud, shutdown complete. It sounds silly, but it creates this hard psychological break. It tells your brain, we're done for the day, so you can actually disconnect and recharge instead of worrying about work all night. All right, so once you start training your mind, the next layer of the onion is your physical environment. The whole idea here is to design your space so that focus is the easy, default option, not something you have to constantly fight for. And there's some really cool science to back this up. For instance, a study from Princeton found that a cluttered desk literally competes for your brain's attention, draining your mental resources. Controlling sound with headphones can be huge.
And check this out. A study from Cardiff University found that just adding a few plants to an office can boost productivity by 15%. These aren't just feel-good tips, they're evidence-based tweaks.
Of course, let's be real. For most of us, the biggest battle for our attention isn't happening in our physical space. It's happening right here, in the digital world. And this is where we need to get really, really intentional.
Okay, this is one of my favorite studies on this topic. A few years back, the University of Texas did an experiment and found that the mere presence of your smartphone, I'm talking even if it's turned off face down on your desk, it measurably reduces your available brain power. Why? Because a part of your brain is actively working to not pick it up. It's wild.
So, what's the fix? Newport calls it a phone quarantine. Step 1 is just physical distance. When it's time to do deep work, put your phone in a completely different room. Out of sight, out of mind. If that's not enough, you can get serious and use a timed lockbox. And here's a simple but surprisingly effective hack. Switch your phone to grayscale mode. It makes those bright, shiny app icons look way less appealing. Trust me.
And we can apply the same thinking to our entire digital life. You've got to architect it for focus. That means turning off almost all push notifications. It means batching your email, checking it only 2 or 3 times a day at scheduled times. A study actually found this significantly reduces stress. And finally, use website blockers to pre-commit to focus. You're basically making it harder for your future impulsive self to get distracted. So when you put it all together, you realize that achieving deep, sustained focus, it's not really about having superhuman willpower. It's about being a smarter architect of your life, your habits, your space, and your tools. Because when you do that, when you intentionally remove all the friction that gets in the way of concentration, something incredible happens. Focus stops being this uphill battle. It actually becomes the path of least resistance. It becomes the easy choice. And that really brings us to the final big question. I want you to forget about the standard 8-hour day of just being busy. Instead, ask yourself this: what could you truly achieve? What amazing thing could you build or learn or solve if you could just get 4 hours of pure, uninterrupted focus every single day?